everyone. Welcome to A Million Things About Japan. I'm Machiko. I was born and raised in Japan, but I also lived in California for a little over 12 years. Then I moved back to Japan this past December. On each episode, I introduce Japanese food, Japanese culture and customs, and more. So please like and subscribe to the channel and get to know a little bit more about Japan with me. よろしくお願いします。Okay, let's get started. When I started A Million Things About Japan, I got some requests to talk about sports in Japan. Actually, my husband and I have discussed about making sports topics as a series. Baseball is very popular in Japan, and there are some very unique aspects about professional baseball in Japan. The National High School Baseball Tournament in summer, called Koshien, is a big Japanese seasonal tradition as well. Soccer fans seem very passionate too, and the professional J-League is widely followed. Watching Ekiden on TV, which is a long-distance road relay, is a must-see event for the New Year's holiday in Japan. Horse racing in Japan, called Keiba, is my husband's passion, and it may be interesting too. If you want to know about any other sports in Japan, please let me know on the comment. When it comes to sports, I like basketball. I used to play basketball, and I told one of my friends about it in the United States. She looked at me and joked like, "Oh, really? Were you taller?" That's because I'm only 5'2". Although I was sometimes considered tiny by my friends and coworkers in the United States, I'm not that short in Japan. I'm more like average here, I guess. So, if you are thinking, I wish I could be taller in your country, you might want to come to Japan. You may feel taller here. So, in general, being tall and big may not be a Japanese thing, but the Japanese national sport with 1400 years of history is called sumo. I think many people probably imagine two huge naked men grappling with their bare hands, right? Well, this is today's topic and our first one about sports in Japan. Sumo originates from the world of mythology. In the oldest Japanese books called Kojiki and Nihon Shoki, it was written that sumo was practiced by the gods. They tested their physical strengths against one another through grappling, and it was the basis of human combat. From these ancient roots, sumo was handed down to the people. Initially, it was held each year as a festival ritual to predict the year's harvest and to pray for a good harvest as well. Later, sumo became a court event before the emperor, and this tradition continued for about 300 years. During the samurai era from 1185 to around 1615, sumo was widely practiced as a form of combat training for the samurai. One of the famous lords, Oda Nobunaga, loved sumo, and he gathered strong sumo wrestlers from all over Japan to hold sumo tournaments. The winner was employed as a retainer. During the Edo period, sumo tournaments were held to raise funds for the construction and repair of temples and shrines. Strong and popular sumo wrestlers began to take up the sport as a profession, and its popularity increased rapidly. The foundations of today's professional sumo were soon established. Many traditions in sumo are rooted in Shinto, which is the religion originated in Japan. For example, salt is used to purify the ring, called dohyo. Before the match, sumo wrestlers throw handfuls of salt in the air as a way of praying to the gods. Have you ever seen LeBron James' pregame ritual? That always reminds me of sumo wrestlers before the match. The rules of sumo are simple. The two sumo wrestlers, called rikishi, try to push the other out of the ring or knock the other over. The first one to step out of the ring or to touch the ground with any part of his body other than the soles of his feet has lost the match. Typically, the match lasts only a few intense seconds, but sometimes can last longer than a minute, though this is a bit rare. Rikishi literally means strong man. However, a more common and less formal way to refer to sumo wrestler is osumo-san, which in Japanese means Mr. Sumo. Sumo wrestlers have a very traditional and unique appearance in the ring. The only piece of clothing worn is the belt, called mawashi. I heard some people jokingly calling it a diaper, but it's not a diaper. The mawashi is worn as a sign to Shinto deities to show that the sumo wrestler is not hiding anything like weapons. They are respectfully engaging in unarmed combat in front of everyone. Also, higher-ranking professional sumo wrestlers wear a special mawashi called keshou mawashi during the ring entry ceremony. It is quite elaborate and ceremonial. Sumo wrestlers also have a distinct hairstyle called chonmage, which can be translated as a top knot. This hairstyle originated from samurai. If a sumo wrestler achieves professional status, they are required to have special chonmage style, which is called oicho. Icho is the Japanese word for a ginkgo tree, and this hairstyle resembles a ginkgo leaf. In the modern professional sumo world, wrestlers are ranked in a somewhat complex ranking system called banzuke. I will only cover the basics. To rise in professional sumo ranking, one must win a certain number of matches. However, there is a limit of ranking sumo professionals. Within the top 6 levels, there are only 70 professionals, and they can be called sekitori. The lowest level is called juryo. The top 5 levels above juryo are collectively called makunouchi. There are only 42 wrestlers can be makunouchi. The lowest rank within makunouchi is maegashira. Above that level is komusubi. Then, the third highest level is sekiwake. The next is the second highest level, which is ozeki. The grand champion, or the highest ranking, is yokozuna. Even though yokozuna is the highest level, there are times when no sumo wrestler has qualified for that level. To be promoted to yokozuna, a wrestler must win 2 tournaments in a row as ozeki or achieve an equivalent result. An equivalent result is not clearly defined, but it's generally judged on win-loss record in 3 consecutive tournaments. They are also judged on hinkaku, which is the characteristic of dignity, and rikiryo, which is physical ability. Hinkaku to rikiryo is a big deal. These criteria are judged by the Japan Sumo Association members. There are no weight classes or restrictions in sumo, so a skinny, short wrestler may have to fight against a gigantic one, for example. The weight of a wrestler can vary greatly depending on their height and build. The average can range from 100 kilograms to over 200 kilograms. For example, former Ozeki Konishiki from Hawaii weighed 287 kilograms, and former Komusubi Mainomi weighed only 96 kilograms. 6 Grand Sumo Tournaments called Honbasho are held each year. Starting in January, each tournament starts and ends on a Sunday and lasts 15 days. The last day is called Senshuraku. After that, they take place every other month. In January, May, and September, the tournament is held at Ryogoku Kokugikan or Ryogoku Sumo Stadium in Tokyo. The tournament held in Osaka happens in March. There is also one in Nagoya in July. Lastly, in November, the final tournament of the year takes place in Fukuoka. Before I moved to California, I lived in Ryogoku area of Tokyo for 12 years. My apartment was 5 minutes away from Ryogoku Sumo Stadium. I was not very interested in sumo, but I saw sumo's influence around me every day. One day, I was at the convenience store making some photocopies and heard some rumbling noise. Da-dun, da-dun. I thought, is there some construction going on near here? Then I saw a big sumo wrestler entering the store. Oh, that explains it. Sometimes I saw sumo wrestlers at Ryogoku Station or on the train during the tournament at Kokugikan. I could identify the presence of Osumo-san right away because of the strong smell of their hair oil called bintsuke abura. To me, it smelled distinctly sweet, like vanilla. I never went to see the sumo tournament, but now I think I should have. But I decided to see the winner's parade once because I lived in that area. That was many years ago. The winner was Kotoshu, who was from Bulgaria. He was holding a gigantic trophy while riding in an open car in front of a huge crowd and TV cameras. It was a very cool experience to witness. You can find large sumo paintings inside the Ryogoku Station, and on the streets around the station, there are statues of sumo wrestlers with their hand impressions. I put my hand up to one, and it was huge compared to mine. The last thing I want to talk about is the famous sumo wrestler's hot pot dish called chanko nabe. I think every Japanese person has heard of it and knows what it is, but perhaps not many have actually tried it. Sumo wrestlers live together in what are called sumo stables. There are many of them in Tokyo. On top of rigorous daily training, in order to build a big body, a specific diet is very important. It cannot be achieved without chanko nabe. Chanko nabe is appreciated in sumo culture for several reasons. It can be cooked easily, and large portions are made at one time, and it provides well-balanced nutrition. It is usually prepared with meat or fish and many types of vegetables. Chanko nabe is an ideal daily dish for sumo wrestlers. There are many chanko nabe restaurants in the Ryogoku area because it is widely considered the home of sumo. Some of them are owned by former sumo wrestlers, and if you want to try real chanko, I recommend you go to one of them. I tried it at one such restaurant, and their chanko was delicious, and I was so full. There is a famous sumo expression, gotzan desu. In Japanese, we say ごちそうさまでした after a meal to express our appreciation and gratitude. In sumo slang, it became ごっつぁんです in a sumo style accent. So, if you have a chance to try chanko nabe in Japan, why don't you say ごっつぁんです when you leave the restaurant? Also, I highly recommend the Japanese show named Sanctuary. It is about sumo wrestlers and the sumo world. I felt like it's a Japanese version of Rocky. I watched the show again and again during my cancer treatment. I enjoyed the story, cast, and acting as well. I was especially inspired by the fighting spirit in sumo. I feel Japanese people have a strong sense of pride when it comes to sumo, so I wanted to share its cultural significance with you. That's about it for today. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe. I also have an Instagram account for a million things about Japan. You can find the link on the description. And again, if you have anything you are interested in Japan, please let me know on the comment. Alright then, please stay tuned for more episodes. Bye bye.